Hey, everybody, and welcome to the final installment of Del Toro month here on Big Dumb Monsters. Not the final installment, the final, for now, installment of Del Toro month.
For this year.
Yes. 5 weeks flew by, in the blink of an eye. And we're closing things out on a high note today. We are closing it out with the Best Picture winner, The Shape of Water. We kind of describe it as a romantic telling of Creature from the Black Lagoon, kind of something along those lines.
It's the closest thing we could think of.
Yeah, we're not very descriptive people.
We're not. Also very late, so, yeah. You guys are slowly finding out that we are just big old dum-dums.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
is the title of the show describing the subject or the hosts? You know?
Yes.
Yes is the answer.
Yeah. But yeah, just another just absolute gem of a movie to celebrate Del Toro month, to celebrate one of our greatest directors right now.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good.
But yeah, we'll dive right into. Oh, damn it! I should have just kept going with that because it would have made a perfect pun. But anyway, we're gonna dive right into The Shape of Water.
That's it. That's it. Show's over.
Yeah,
no
that's
more.
it. Wrap it up, folks.
We're done
here.
You're fired.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, watch this movie for real and enjoy the show. I got a question.
Yes.
Has Michael Shannon ever played a character that is not just like a complete asshole?
He is so good at being like the creepy asshole. Like, yeah, he's like perfect at it.
I don't know, it's just the face and his demeanor overall. It's just terrible.
The one movie where he is not an asshole that I actually just saw recently it was actually a really good holiday movie. Was The Night Before. With fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anthony Mackie, and Seth Rogen. He plays like their fucking pot dealer, like stoner friend.
Really?
Yeah, like from when they were like younger.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, it's so like out of type for him. And like he's all like he's got like I think he has like dreads on. And he's like, he's dressed like in hip hop clothing.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like he's like a kind of like a recurring character throughout the movie. Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
But yeah, like he just nails that like fucking like in this movie. Like he's such a despicable person in this movie.
He's a fucking disaster.
Yeah. I mean, he is at the end of the movie literally coming apart at the seams. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, Michael Shannon, fucking awesome at being a fucking asshole. Like, I'm sure he's probably a really nice guy in real life too. Like,
I don't know. Like, he might just be channeling his real life attitude. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, the entire cast of this movie is outstanding.
Yeah, everybody nailed it. Like, I mean, just from top to bottom, everybody was just great in each of the roles.
there are no nobody's phoning it in.
Yeah. Like, like even in like every movie, there's at least one person who just like didn't bring the A game. Yeah. But this one, everybody's just fantastic. I'm filling space right now as I'm trying to fumble with my settings. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but the beginning of this movie is, I mean, for the lack of a better word, is cute. Like,
like not many movies that start off in the first like 30 seconds with the like lead actress like rubbing one out in a bathtub can be described
I
as
know,
cute.
that was so weird.
Yeah. Just furiously going at it.
Oh my, like grinding one out.
Like, whoa, girl.
Save some for later.
Yeah. He's up on that thing. Oh, God. We're 12 years old.
Yeah, well, he put it in the movie.
Yeah. There's no way we're not going to comment on it. I mean, come on.
For anybody that hasn't noticed, we are recording remotely again this week.
Yeah, this is the first time we're remote recording where I'm actually using the studio. Like I noticed the last time we did it, like how shitty it actually sounds when I'm at my desk and not in the in the studio
like
setup.
That microphone was good like 10 years ago.
Yeah. But here we are. Hopefully it sounds on par with where we normally sound.
Yeah, and we are recording remotely because we are recording on a Thursday night. Normally we do it Saturday nights, but we will be at Saratoga Comic-Con this Saturday.
That is correct.
And I think I have plans later that night.
Oh, all right.
So we will not be doing a normal recording.
Yeah,
so I'm at home.
What's that?
So I'm at home drinking a bunch of PBRs, watching a Fishman movie.
I am drinking right now a Rogue Pineapple Party Punch.
What?
Yeah, it was donated by our one of our biggest fans. Shout out to Michelle for dropping this off to me. I'm not a big. What's that?
I said, aha.
I'm not a big IPA fan, but this sounds pretty good. It is a hazy India Pale Ale brewed with pineapple and toasted coconut. So I'm going into this with a positive attitude. It sounds delicious.
That could overshadow the lawn clipping funk of a normal IPA.
You know what? That is actually good. I would actually order this beer.
No shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like mostly like pineapple juice is what I taste. It's like it's like a fermented pineapple juice kind of. It's actually pretty good.
Well, thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, shout out. I got one more of these in there too. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Right. I got Peebers, and when I run out of these last two, I've got whiskey. So
excellent.
I'll be just fine.
We had an in-studio guest the other night who killed off the whiskey, so I need to make a run to the liquor store.
We did.
Yeah, when we watched the fight the other night.
Oh yeah. Hi, Squee.
Anyway,
so synopsis of this movie, kind of a modern take on Creature from the Black Lagoon, but set in a vintage timeline with modern sensibilities.
Yeah, it's never specified when this is taking place, but it's clearly like.
Well, no, they kind of do, because you have a JFK speech over the radio.
Oh, okay. I didn't even pick up on that. So it is definitely the early '60s. Then I was like thinking.
Yeah. Late '50s, early '60s. Got that vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, it's in Baltimore, which definitely is gone a little downhill since this era.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is The Wire. This is not. No.
Yeah. But yeah, it is kind of Creature from the Black Lagoon-y, but more of a two-sided romance, I guess, with the original one, just being the creature obsessed with the girl,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with the amount of Jello that's in this movie. I don't know about you.
Yeah, the key lime pie that they're about to get from this dude is fucking disgusting looking. It's green Jello with like whipped cream on top. It's not real key lime pie.
No.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, I don't like that. It has been so long since I've seen The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Like, I think I saw it as a kid.
Yeah, same here. I remember really, really liking it, like it being like my favorite of the monster movies that I've seen. But again, it's been so long that like I don't know if that holds up. You know?
I mean, not even so much if it holds up. I don't know if it has that much of a correlation to this one. You know what I mean? So like, obviously, they're very different movies, but the influence of the Creature from the Black Lagoon is like, it's palpable. Like, you know that was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely more of like a, you know, an adventure, you know, horror movie, and this is, you know, more of a romance, I would say.
Yeah. It's a very disturbing romance, though.
Yeah, like the whole movie, I was just reminded, like there was a meme out, like circulating when this movie was out, and it was like an Amazon review, and like somebody had written like, this is a movie about a fish guy that fucks, did not see the fish dick once, 0 out of 5 stars.
No, he kept it classy, you know? We didn't see Fishman hang dong, but...
Hang trout, I guess.
Yeah, the old trouser trout.
Drop the old slammin' salmon. And,
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
There's so much pie in that fridge. Ugh.
And like not all the pies on that menu, like on the board behind them, looked great. There was like orange. It was like orange peach. Like just the drawing of it was like this gelatinous like it was probably orange Jello with chunks of peach in it. It was probably what it was.
There was one I saw in the rack, like in the rotating rack there, and it looked like a pudding pie, you know, like a chocolate cream pie or whatever, but with chunks of Jello in it.
Oh,
and I've never been more disgusted in my life.
Yeah, that's goddamn gross.
Yeah.
And I guess that is like kind of, I guess that's kind of a foreshadowing of like the character of the pie shop, you know, proprietor. Like you think, ooh, pie shop, like, because I had that reaction when I first saw it, like, fuck, like I wish like pie shops were still a thing. I can go for a piece of pie right now.
Yeah.
But then like pie. Yeah, and then like when you look, like we were just talking about, like when you look at the pies, they're like not appealing at all. Much like I was gonna say,
you could say they are deplorable.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, one could say that precisely. And then you know, Giles is Richard Jenkins' character's name. He's like kind of obsessed with.
He's so good in this.
Yeah, he is fantastic. Once he kind of scratches the surface of this guy's character and like, you know, kind of lets down his guard a little bit, like he finds out like, oh wait, yeah, no, this dude's a fucking asshole. Like,
yeah, no, he's a piece of shit. Like he's as bad as those pies are.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man,
I would love some pie right now, or a pie shop.
Yeah, like
great.
Just like the concept of a place that just sold different pie. Like we had grandma's pies up until like a year ago or so, and that is now gone, unfortunately.
But I want that that diner counter experience. Like it's just kind of pies.
Yeah, pie and coffee is
just
what
like old school. Yeah, I want this to be something out of a fucking Tom Waits song, you know?
Yep. Yeah, like, you want cheese on that apple pie? Oh, I don't, but
no.
Yeah. Thank you for offering.
No, not American cheese. If you get a slice of cheddar cheese on pie, like decent cheddar cheese, that's fine. That's fine. But you throw a fucking Kraft single on that, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth.
Man, I want pie.
Yeah. fuck. We do this to each other all the fucking time.
Yeah. Anyway, movie Fishman. Back on track.
Fishman
back on
movie.
track. Yeah.
This, oh man, this is just a fucking piece of art.
Yeah. I really like that we switched up the schedule of movies because we were originally going to do this last week, and then end with Pacific Rim. But I like that we're doing this last. It definitely, it feels like we're winding the month up. Like it's a nice place to end. But at the same time, like this movie has a very heavy sadness, like hanging over it at all times.
It's a major fucking downer. Like it's really, really weird because there's this whole air of innocence.
Yes.
But it's like overcast innocence.
Yeah, like you know
nasty,
these people
dark
are good.
Cloud over all of it.
Yeah, like you said, they're innocent, but you just know that like just the whole cloud hanging over everything with like Michael Shannon's character, you know whatever is going to happen is going to go badly because of this person. Yeah, and it just again we get the ambiguous ending, kind of like in Pan's Labyrinth, where do what we see? Oh boy,
wow!
Do what we see happen? Is what we see at the end of this movie what happens in real life? Or as Richard Jenkins is narrating, he's like, this is what I like to think happens.
Yeah.
Is it true? I hope so.
It could be. And this is one of those ones where it's not so obviously like a what if. Like, it's a very plausible ending that you see.
Yeah, I mean, given with everything else that happened,
nature...
Sorry,
given the nature of the Fishman, does he have like an actual like something we can call him other than Fishman?
No, his credit in the movie is just Amphibian Man.
Amphibian Man.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I
mean, we can always call him Abe,
well.
like Abe Sapien.
Pretty much. That's one of my bigger gripes about this movie.
Yeah, that he is very, 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 very similar to Abe Sapien.
Yeah, different coloring,
but
a little bit of a different anatomy.
Yeah, not all that different.
Yeah.
Like, he's still blue. He's a little bit like, he looks like he maybe could be like a different class of like, he's more of like a warrior class where Abe is more, just the way he carries himself is more of like an aristocrat or like,
Yeah, he's like your sorcerer amphibian man.
Yeah.
This guy's more of
like
a
professor.
barbarian amphibian. Maybe like a druid.
Yeah.
I think a druid is good. He's got magic.
Yeah, that's right. He's got the healing thing going on.
Yeah.
And like again with his magical powers, like maybe he, there are people who do have gill slits like that. Like we all have gills at one point in our development, in 99.9% of people, like they seal up, and then there are some people who are born with just like these still visible, like they're not working gills, but they're like slits.
Same as the tail.
Yeah, people have tails too, like up until a point. So maybe with whatever whatever restorative process he has, like maybe he does grant her like gills, or you don't know, but like, oh, it's still like, oh God, like I just feel like it's just a sad ending.
It's a super fucking sad ending. Even if you take into account the happiness of the maybe this happened ending, the entire end of the fucking movie is just a fucking downer.
Yeah.
Like, it's like... I mean, the movie is really set up in 3 acts. And Act 1 is this entire innocence arc where they set her up with her friend, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm forgetting his name.
Giles.
Giles.
Whose story?
Their friendship, the fact that they, like, basically need each other and vibe off each other.
Yeah.
So good. Like, that build-up is great.
His story is, which we don't see, but we can infer, is equally as tragic. Like, he's a gay man in the, in this repressed era where, even like he just touches the one, the pie guy's hand. He's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yep.
Like he's in that same position where he cannot be with, someone that he loves. So they're just, they're kind of in these similar situations, him and Eliza.
Yep. And I love it. Like the way it's built is so good. And then you get to act 2 where it's, she's obviously like falling in love with the creature, which I mean, for whatever reason, that's just what she's attracted to, be it some weird repressed thing from her childhood or just the fact that like it showed interest in her. And
hey, look,
and
some people are into feet.
They vibe off each other.
That's just gross.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Fishman is one thing. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're into feet, you're a fucking degenerate. I love you, but you're a degenerate. Yeah. I'm not kink shaming. I'm just letting you know.
Just putting you on notice. That's all.
Yeah. I'll put you on blast. I don't care. Yeah, but Act 2 is like where the love story really connects with the characters. And it's weird, obviously, because it's a fucking fish monster. But again, you get that innocence. It's her innocence, his innocence, because he doesn't really know any better. He's just acting off instinct or possibly some sort of divine what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say instinct again, but like if he knows that he's meant to be with her out of some sort of divine knowledge, because they refer to him as a god.
Yeah. I love the ending.
Maybe.
But Michael Shannon is just like, holy shit, you really are a god. Like, he just fucking slices his throat. Like,
yeah. He had that coming.
Well, playing like to the innocence thing, like I know the musical sequence was like a really like a deal breaker for a lot of people. Like it was just too absurd. But like
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, because it highlights this like both of their complete innocence. Like it's it's so completely absurd and so just out there and weird, but they don't care. Like they just they just know that they love each other, and like it's just this pure expression of that. And like, oh, it's really good.
And it's like in her mind, that's what people who are in love do, because she loves these like the old school like dancing musical numbers.
Yeah. I love the music in this movie too. While we're there,
oh, the soundtrack is so good. Yeah,
at least 2 or 3 songs I'm pretty sure like in Fallout games, but not to the. I mean, I don't mean that as an insult, because I love the music in Fallout also.
Yeah, I thought all the Fallout stuff was made for Fallout.
No, there's a lot of like old like 40s music in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit. Yeah, it could be. But the score that they made for this with the whistling in it, it's almost like a lullaby. So good.
Yeah. It gives it that just kind of like whimsical, like just dream. The whole movie feels like a dream.
You know what? Whimsical is a really good word to describe a lot of this movie.
Yeah.
It's got those fantasy elements with it just being like a weird monster.
Yeah, it's
but then there's also this like fantastic romance element to it.
Yeah, it's a grounded fantasy, which is like a contradiction, but there's really that's like the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Which again is very reminiscent to what he did in Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Because I would describe that as in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, just these people who are thrust into these horrible like situations and
So like is the fantasy element in their mind to help them cope with what they're going through? Or is it kind of real? You never really find out. I mean, obviously with the creature and the romance part in this movie, Yeah, it's supposed to be 100% like what's actually happening, but the dance sequences and the underwater sequences and things like that, that's where it's left up to your kind of own interpretation.
I just wanted to point out the line that Michael Shannon says after he gets his fingers reattached. And he's on the phone with the general, and he's just like, you can tell he's asking him how he's doing. He's like, well, I still got my phone trigger and pussy finger.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But again,
You're
it just,
gross.
yeah, exactly. I was just saying, it goes back to just this like inherent unlikability to this character.
He's just loathsome.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, oh, like, but I couldn't help laughing at the same time.
Yeah, well, because it is funny. Like, it's gross, but it's funny. Like, we can't help it. We're children. This movie is so good. It does suffer, though, from its own artistic nature. In terms of being like just throw it on kind of movie.
Yeah, this isn't like something I think this is maybe the third time I've watched this movie. And like that might seem like a lot, but like I'm someone who, if I love a movie, I can throw it on like and just rewatch it, a lot. This is like you need a little bit to recover.
Yeah, I mean, and from the super heavy tone and the fact that it's, like I said, just like so artistic. It doesn't follow normal movie conventions, which is fine. It's awesome. This is Guillermo doing whatever he fucking wants, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
but that doesn't make it a movie that I want to watch all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like it's an experience. Like I want to have this experience every so often.
It's the complete opposite end of the spectrum of like Pacific Rim, where that's it still has its artistic elements, but like that is pure just popcorn blockbuster enjoyment.
100%.
Whereas this is like it takes some emotion, it takes some thinking. Like,
yeah, no, this is a deep ass movie.
Yeah,
and I'm not an overly deep person, I would say, but I get down with the artistic statement every so often. Like
the scene where Michael Shannon is coming home, and like I noticed in this movie, like every woman kind of in his vicinity just seems just below the surface terrified of him. Like his wife,
he's a fucking terrifying individual.
Yeah, his wife, and then his secretary also at work almost has like this hostage like look in her eyes, like.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's so good.
Oh, watching him wash his hands and then piss and then not wash his hands.
Oh God, yeah. A man washes his, either before he does his business or after. I forget what he says. If he does both. I forget what the hell he says. Yeah, but yeah, he just puts the gum right into his mouth.
It reminds me of a story my dad told me one time. He used to work at a local, it was like a corner store, had like a deli part, so they would make sandwiches and shit. And he went to the bathroom before making this guy's sandwich, and the guy asked him, he goes, "Did you wash your hands?" And my dad goes, "I never touch myself with dirty hands." That's so weird how she just pulls her boob out.
Yeah. And I never need to see fucking Michael Shannon on the job from behind like that again.
just slanging dick. This is the most awkward, uncomfortable, consensual sex scene I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to the like repulsiveness of his character. It's just very off-putting.
Yeah. Well, because he's telling her to be quiet, be silent, be silent. So you know that he's fantasizing about her, Eliza.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I didn't even put that together.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, like he does come on to her later in the movie, but I did not. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking weird. And he's putting his fucking bloody stump hand all over his wife's mouth.
Ugh.
There's a lot of things in this movie that make you go, "Bleh."
Fuck, that does explain. Well, I mean, like, just his shitty character explains why he shoots the monster at the end, but like that does explain, does explain why he's so obsessed with everything.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's actually a pretty good descriptor of his character. He is obsessive about everything that he has to do.
Yeah.
So, like, he's in charge of security in this facility now. He takes complete control. And then characters will walk into his office. He tells them to go back out and knock and then come in back, because that's protocol. It's like he's a complete control freak.
Yeah. He is he is a slave to the rules and to order and to process, but at the same time, that doesn't prevent him from just being corrupted, like, to the soul,
Yeah, well, it's like he expects the rules to be followed by everybody, but the rules maybe don't apply to him.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not that they don't apply, but that, like, it's that he's shielding himself with them. Like, because he is sticking so rigidly to these rules, whatever he does is justified. It's malicious compliance. I might be a fucking terrible person. I might be hurting, people with what I'm doing. But, hey, I'm doing it by the book, by the rules, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's a means to an end.
Yeah. Oh, God, just this, like...
Fucking, she's throwing on that Benny Goodman record.
Yeah. Yeah, is when she's first, like, kind of dancing for the monster.
Yeah, I love big band music.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid, so I have really fond memories of, like, Benny Goodman and Max Roach and Gene Krupa and shit like that. So,
when we moved into this house, this is the first time in probably almost 15 years, like, I haven't lived in a house with, like, an outdoor balcony. Like, I haven't lived on a second floor, and, this is the first time I haven't lived on the second floor in a long time, where I had, like, because one of my favorite things used to, to be in all those apartments would be just at night, before I go to bed for like an hour or so, just sit on the porch, like, relax, throw on the 40s channel on Sirius, and just, enjoy the evening, like, enjoy the night,
Yep.
I don't really get to do that here because our yard is not fenced in, and there are quite a lot of animals here.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it in the Godzilla tiki bar.
Yeah, I've done that, but it's just not the same. Like, it's just
not quite the same.
Yeah, it's nice being outside and just having just that 40s, like, big band music. It's just very relaxing.
Yeah. You know what I really didn't need in this movie, and I felt it was excessive and kind of slowed everything down, was the Russian spy subplot.
Yeah. I mean,
it's interesting and it's cool, but it's completely unnecessary.
I think if this is why it's truly in the movie, this is a long way to go to conveniently explain something. But I think it's there to make the stealing of the creature much easier to write away, to, like, write off. If there isn't this, like, Russian spy involved, they don't have that Israeli popper device to kill the power and, like, kind of just cause chaos and, while they're trying to get the monster out. Like, if that doesn't happen, then they aren't able to get the monster out. So I think that's why they need it in the movie. But if that is the case, like I said, that is a long way to go for that little bit of convenience.
Because I mean, he's the Russian spy, Dr. Hofstetter.
Yeah,
is it Hofstetter? He's a very sympathetic character. Like, you know that he's actually interested in the creature for the creature's sake. Like, he's not like overly malicious in his real intentions.
Yeah.
So he could have just been a very sympathetic to the creature doctor who has like
Who could have just cut the power for them? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
Like
It could also be
that could have worked.
I mean, because now that I'm thinking about it, he is very much the counterbalance to Michael Shannon's character. Whereas, Michael Shannon is this terrible person who lives by the rules. He, the scientist is a person who is, clearly not living by the rules. He is a spy for the Russians, but that doesn't make him a bad person. Like he has pure
He's not
motivations.
even following their rules.
Yeah, exactly. He has pure motivations for what he's doing. It's like you said, because he cares about the creature. Like he just wants he doesn't even care if it ends up with the Russians. He just wants it to end up. He helps Eliza because he wants it to end up with somebody who's going to take care of it, who will help the creature.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that's why. And he is, and again, he's the complete opposite in that, like, Michael Shannon is this all-American, like, FBI guy, and then he's this Russian it's the complete opposite. Michael Shannon is this brawny, like, just fucking security guy, and he's a nerdy little weakling scientist.
Yeah. What's funny about that, though, is like Michael Shannon's character is everything that's wrong with the 1950s American man.
Yeah. The toxic masculinity.
Yeah. Super authoritarian, very toxic masculinity kind of thing going on.
Yeah, just no room for deviation. Everything must conform.
Yeah. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I am not opposed to the idea of the 1950s, like, quote-unquote, man's man. But there's a way to be that man's man without being a fucking jagoff.
Yeah, without destroying the lives of the fucking people around you.
Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, I get patriotism and being a quote-unquote, man. But this is like the absolute worst possible version of that you could be.
Yeah.
And he plays it so well. Like he is so good at being shitty. It's unbelievable.
I like that. Like we, presumably went into this to talk about the monster, and like we've ended up. Well, we have talked about the monster for the whole episode.
We have.
It's just it's not the one everybody was expecting. It's Michael Shannon.
No, it's the fucking Michael Shannon show. And realistically, like this is a 10 Cloverfield Lane kind of thing. Like he's the real fucking monster.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
The creature, the aquatic man creature fish guy is just a story piece. Like it's just like he's the reason everything is going on. The real shitty monster horrific element of the movie is Michael Shannon.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Can I just say I love Octavia Spencer in this movie too?
She's amazing. She's so good. She's so funny and dramatic when she needs to be.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like I just there's the relationship between her and Eliza, like
I love it.
Yeah, like everybody has worked with like that, like just type of dynamic with someone, like there's the person, like they're just in I can't even describe it, in unison, kind of. They're just simpatico, basically,
Yeah.
And like she's looking out for Eliza, and like Eliza's got her back. Like, just everybody knows somebody, like a couple people like that, I guess.
Yeah. And she takes care of it. Like she sees that Eliza is very meek, and probably has had it rough because she can't speak her whole life or whatever. And it's almost like she took her under her wing. She's very maternal, but also, I mean, I mean, I guess maternal is the word. I'm
Yeah,
looking for.
fun older sister, let's say, because like she's maternal, but like is also willing to help her like steal the monster and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why do I keep calling him the monster? Like, oh, it's better than Fishman.
Fishman.
Yeah.
Fishman. All right. You want to get to a rating?
Yeah, this is I think the longest we've gone without hitting the rating.
That's because I love this fucking movie.
I'll
there's a lot to talk about in this movie. Like there's a lot in this movie.
Yeah. I think I'm right at where I was last week. I think I'm gonna give this a 9. I can't quite go as high as I did for Pan's Labyrinth. Just because I don't know, Pan's Labyrinth also not a light movie, but like this is a much heavier.
It has more rewatchability.
Yeah. This is a much like heavier kind of like pall, I guess, over the movie.
Yeah.
And then, just I would have liked to have seen something a little bit different, like you said, from the monster. Like, even if you make him look a little bit more like the original kind of Gilman, make him green, like, just make him look distinct from Abe Sapien. Like, that's all you needed to do. But who am I to question?
I think the color scheme is distinct enough, but the face is almost fucking spot on.
Yeah.
Like, the design of the face and things like that. You're going 9?
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, I really
that's higher than I want to rank it.
Yeah, I was honestly I was thinking like 8.5, but I really do love this movie, and like I think if I go lower, it's just because like I'm like it does it doesn't have the rewatchability. I think that would be that justification for going lower. But this is such a beautiful fucking movie. I'm sticking with a 9.
All right, I'm gonna do this 2 ways, and you can call me whatever you want when I'm done. As an expression of art on film, this is probably the only time I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
This is a fucking 10.
You just want to give something a 10. It feels good, doesn't it?
It does. To finally say it, like, this is my only 10. It's probably going to be my only 10 ever.
But I can absolutely agree
as
with
as an artistic statement, this is a 10. As a film, it's like an 8.
All right.
It's just because of some of the other gripes that we've had. Like, the monster is very similar to Abe Sapien, like you said. I would have liked to have seen that be a little more distinct, a little more different. I don't like the Russian spy subplot. It felt
that is a little
unnecessary.
Yeah, this movie could have been like 20 minutes shorter. Like, definitely cut out the Russian stuff.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And as much as I do love the artsy nature of the film, like where it bleeds into black and white and then they have the dance number, I love it. Like, it's phenomenal. Doesn't make for good movie with the rest of the tone of the film.
Yeah, no, I can definitely agree with that also, because it's very jarring. Like,
yeah, I like it. I'm glad it's there. It just doesn't mesh with the rest of the movie.
It requires a high buy-in from the audience. Like, if you're like fantasy averse, like in any way, that's immediately, I think, going to put you off. Yeah, I can agree with that. I like another thing. Like, I just realized, like, we really didn't need. I think we could have gotten a taste of it and gotten everything we needed out of it story-wise. Is the whole the other subplot with Richard Jenkins trying to get his job back at the advertising company.
Yeah.
Like, he has like the encounter with his boss in the beginning, and like we get, okay, he was fired. Probably, it sounds like, probably because
they found out he was gay. Yeah.
Well, it could have been that, or he was also, they imply he was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because he asked him, "Can you drink?" And he's like, "Nope, not a drop." I don't touch stuff anymore, or something like that.
Yeah. I did enjoy that part of the film. Like, they didn't dwell on it a lot. I mean, they had, 2 or 3, like, major scenes, but in reality, that whole thing maybe takes up like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, fuck. Because like
I get it.
No, because there's like the second encounter with his boss where he just kind of like flat out like tells him like, no, we're not bringing you back. And like, you know, maybe we didn't need that, but at the same time, it also kind of explains why
it sets up some of his bitterness.
Yeah, why he suddenly switches on the whole situation with Eliza and the fish man. Why he's so willing to help her after that, like, because he's fucking had it. Like, again, it's probably a situation, with him being, a gay man in this time era, like he's just reached a dead end again, basically, where he's not going to get what he wants. He's not going to be able to get the things that make him happy, and like he's not going to let himself sit by while somebody else is in that situation and he can help them. Is basically what that sets up.
Yeah. Like he, I guess for lack of a better term, like he wants to be better than people have treated him.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, this is a really good movie.
So fucking good. It's stupid how good this movie is. Like it's if you stand back and you look at this movie from the macro level, it is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people kind of griping when this won Best Picture. But like,
you know what?
Fuck them.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Because like the more you dig into it, the more you just realize how complex it is. Like, there's more to unpack. There's just more to like 2 or 3 times in this conversation, like we've come to like real like, oh yeah, like this does this and that means this and like
because I see it a different way than you see it. And we both see it probably a completely different way than Guillermo Del Toro saw it when he wrote it. Like, a lot is open for interpretation, and a lot of it is laid out flat. Like, it's a good combination. It's not so highbrow that everything is metaphor and everything is allegory, but there's enough there to keep you going, like, maybe?
Yeah.
And without all those maybes, you still have a solid storyline. And I think that's what a lot of the more highbrow allegory laden pictures, like, that's what they're missing. They're missing that solidarity.
They forego kind of continuity and story for the artistic expression, at the detriment of the movie. Which, while we're on this subject, I will give a shout out. I know everybody's kind of like critic wise pumping this movie up, but it is well deserved. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Holy fucking shit, what a great movie. Very, very, another high buy-in from the audience, like artistic wise and just what you're seeing.
Which one is that now?
This is the one with Michelle Yeoh. Basically, oh God, I don't even know how to describe this movie because it is so complex, and at the same time, what it's trying to tell you is so simple. Like the whole, like going into it, I knew it was going to be, out there and crazy. And like, I hung in there for story-wise, like most of the movie, like towards like the middle and like the end, like it gets very, very convoluted and very just like, there's a lot of high concept stuff going on. But then it just kind of hits you with the basic message, like, oh, okay, this is what this is all about. Without giving too much away, because like I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because it's an experience, man. It's holy shit, is it good. Basically, you can go about life. Nope, I got it. There was a meme. There was another meme. I started off with a meme. I'm going back to another meme.
All right.
It's like a stick figure drawing, and like basically it's like there's 2 ways to look at life, and like the one of them, the first way is nobody cares, and like it's a stick figure guy looking sad, and like the second one is nobody cares with like an exclamation mark, and like the stick figure guy is just like yay, like. that is the most basic way I can describe what this movie is about.
Okay.
And it's basically
So it's like the duality of the same idea. So like two sides of the same coin.
yeah. There's two ways to go about
elements.
life. Each way has their pros and cons, and nobody is really right. But there might be a better, one of the ways might be a little bit better in that, like, if you're not always dwelling on dark shit, like, things aren't always going to be as bad, basically. Like, I'm trying to tiptoe around, like, like a lot of stuff, but it's...
Okay.
Like, it's one of those things where just, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, okay, I got it, and, like,
right.
that is very profound. Like, I cannot, and then, like, aside from that, like, visually, cinematically, it's an amazing movie because it's, again, trying to sum up a very complex storyline. It's like this Asian family struggling with, like, money and taxes and, like, a business that they're trying to, run. And then, like, as they're in this very mundane situation trying to get this thing ironed out, like, that's when things get crazy. Like, basically, it gets into, like, multiple universes, and, like, they,
All right. I am intrigued.
Yeah,
now.
she basically taps into alternate versions of herself to get through things, like, in the moment that call for, like, a specific skill. There is, without giving too much away, but, like, there's one of the universes that they check in with is, like, a universe where all the people have, instead of, like, having, like, fingers we can manipulate, everybody has hot dog fingers, basically. And then, like, you find that it's absurd and it's stupid, but then, like, later on in the movie, you find out that, like, oh, wait, well, because everybody, can't use their hands for stuff, everybody in this universe got really great at using their feet for everything. So, like, like, she, I forget what she needs to use her feet for, but, like, she, taps into that universe and, like, she can use those skills.
Okay.
So it's like, even though this might be happening, this bad thing might be happening to you, that might actually be good in this. Like, I know it sounds like I'm babbling, but trust me, this is all in this movie. It's so fucking crazy, and, like, it's so just ADHD, but as far as movies go, like, holy Lord, this is an experience that, like, it just needs to be seen.
All right. Well, you've convinced me. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. Like, I don't think I have anything going on tomorrow morning. So.
Yeah, I would recommend going for it. And, like, there's some fight sequences in it, like, that are amazing. Yeah.
Where's it? What's it on?
It's in the theaters right now. Yeah.
So I won't see it tomorrow morning.
I guarantee you it'll be probably on streaming something soon, or on digital, like, for rental.
Okay. Yeah, nothing really has, like, a long theater run anymore.
Yeah. It's
COVID killed
yeah,
me.
I want to say it's been out. Usually everything hits, like, video now, like, in 45 days. So I want to say it came out, like, in March or maybe early April. It might have even been sooner because it was, like, re-released in IMAX. So it had to have been out long enough to be out and then go away and then come back. Yeah. Okay. I just saw it this past week, last Monday, not this past Monday, but the one before.
Awesome.
Anyway,
I will definitely watch that when it's streaming because I don't want to go to the movies.
Yeah, that I understand. But this is I did not see it in IMAX, unfortunately, but it would be one to see in IMAX if one were inclined to go to a theater.
All right. Well, are we ready to move on to the trivia?
We're almost at an hour and we haven't even hit the trivia. That's amazing.
Yeah, this is going to be a long one.
Not to bother you with trivia.
I used to think they were kind of trivia.
Director Guillermo Del Toro, fucking genius, said about Sally Hawkins, who played the main character here. Not only was she the first choice, she was the only choice. I wrote the movie for Sally. I wrote the movie for Michael Shannon. Sally is, I wanted the character of Eliza to be beautiful in her own way, not in that way that is like a perfume commercial kind of way. That you could believe that this character or this woman would be sitting next to you on the bus. But at the same time, she would have a luminosity, a beauty, almost magical, ethereal. Yeah. And she fucking pulls that off, like, spot on. Like, that's a great description of that character.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can tell, I mean, just the way we've been talking about Michael Shannon, like, he, clearly that was written for him because he knocked it out of the park. And the same with her, too. Like, she just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah. And yeah, like, the way she plays that character, there's that, like, that spark of, you know, like we've been saying this whole time, that innocence. And it's not, like, naivety. It's just innocence. Like, it's like she's
maintained
probably
this,
not
like,
be a
innocence.
better person if she tried. Yeah.
Yeah, in this, like, shitty world, despite all that, she's still, like, a good person.
Yeah, like, everybody that she comes across, like, they seem to love her. You know, like, her best friend at work, her best friend at home, the guy running the fucking theater downstairs loves her. Like, it seems like anybody that gets to know her loves her, which is crazy because she can't talk to any of them.
Yeah, that's true.
So you have these people who have obviously gone out of their way to learn sign language to communicate with her because that's how special she is to them.
Oh, she really is great in this movie.
Yeah.
There's the scene
Big
where
fan.
she's like making preparations to steal the monster.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Guillermo Del Toro wrote lengthy backstories for each of the main characters, some of them reportedly running over 40 pages long, which is not a shocker to anybody that has listened to us talk about IMDb trivia about any of these movies so far.
Yeah.
After casting the roles, he offered them to the actors and said they could choose to utilize or ignore the backstories for their own characters. The actors responded differently, with Richard Jenkins saying he ignored the backstory, stating, "The only thing that matters is what happens on screen." While Michael Stuhlbarg said he read the backstory voraciously and found it helpful to his performance.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, it didn't take away from Richard Jenkins' character for sure.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably to the credit, well, definitely to the credit of Richard Jenkins. I mean, I don't think any actor could just step up and like, no, fuck the backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, I've played D&D. It's hard to play without a backstory.
Yeah.
At least
And Guillermo's the guy showing up with, like, the 40-page backstory.
Oh, he's got the binder full. Yeah. Like Lindsay showing up with like a fucking half a novel. Let's see. Oh, I just clicked on something and lost my spot. Here we go. The creature design is heavily inspired by the film Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954. Michael Shannon's character says they picked it up in the Amazon River in South America, which is the setting of the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, more vague he could not be, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a sequel to that movie.
Yeah, it could. Set around the same time.
Yeah.
I think Creature, 54. This is maybe, 60...
Yeah, if they, Kennedy's still alive, it's pre-62, I believe, is when he died.
I don't know. When did he die? I don't know. This is the part where we reveal that I am not good at American history. I don't remember when Kennedy was assassinated.
Oh, what was the name of that Stephen King? Was 63? 11/22/63?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm more familiar with Stephen King than I am with American history. So that's, like a good American should be.
Yeah.
According to an interview with the National University of Mexico TV, Guillermo del Toro said that if this film had flopped, he would have retired from directing altogether. He stated that as well was the case with Pan's Labyrinth and The Devil's Backbone, due to his deep personal nature of these projects.
Yeah, God.
Which sounds a little extra, you know?
It is
like
a little melodramatic.
That's a lot.
But I am glad that they didn't flop.
Yeah. I don't know how well The Devil's Backbone did. I know Pan's Labyrinth did pretty well. This actually did very well.
Yeah.
Which you'll find out in this next fact right here. The Shape of Water is the top grossing Best Picture winner in 5 years, grossing over $194 million worldwide on a budget of approximately $19 million.
Oh,
Which,
wow.
$19 million sounds like a shitload of money, but that is a fucking shoestring budget these
Yeah,
days.
not a lot of money for a modern movie. I mean, especially one that would go on to win Best Picture,
Yeah.
and one that is features a character that's all heavy prosthetics and makeup.
Yep. The funny thing about that, well, we'll get to the prosthetics in a couple of facts here. One of Octavia Spencer's favorite things about the screenplay was the fact that by letting the main couple be mute, most of the dialogue comes from a black woman and a closeted gay man.
Yeah,
Which is just like chef kiss. I don't want to say wokeism, but it's like
subverting the norms of that time, basically.
yeah, 100%. Which Guillermo is very good at doing. Like he'll take the concept of like, this is what's normally happening, I'm gonna turn it on its head. Whether it be like a sort of straightforward film, but then add these like fantasy elements, like a movie about people in the Spanish Civil War, but now there's like ghosts and fantasy creatures and shit on top of it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The genesis of the idea for making this film, as Guillermo del Toro explained in an interview, with reruns of the classic 1954 monster movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon, he said, I thought it would be great if the creature and Julie Adams would end up living together. I was 6, I didn't know better, but I'm 53, and I still don't know better because I made this movie. Which is just fun. Like, I think he has a lot of fun making these movies and just being a creative person.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing it for the right reason. Like, he's not making movies to make blockbusters and to make tons of money. It's nice that it sometimes happens for him, but he's in it for the love of the game, I think. You'll appreciate this one here.
All right.
After seeing the trailer, Kevin Smith tweeted, "Seeing something as beautiful as this makes me feel stupid for ever calling myself a director."
Yeah, I think I remember that, actually. Yeah.
And I love Kevin Smith, but his movies are not good anymore. Like, they're
It's
just
been a while
not.
since. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the last,
I met somebody that said Tusk was one of their favorite movies, and then I had to walk away from them.
Don't get me wrong, I like Tusk. Yeah, one of my favorite movies? No.
No.
I mean, it's a really good B movie,
I appreciate it for what it is and what it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
but I don't like it.
I saw that at a midnight movie, and, I think that's the way you should watch that movie.
That's exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like, that's a late night movie after, a bunch of drinks. Like, that's the kind of horror movie that a crowd is supposed to see.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the reaction when they first show the walrus, like
Yeah.
the entire theater just gasping. I remember I actually like out loud went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it was gross looking.
Yeah, I mean, it was just shocking.
I think my favorite thing about Tusk is that Kevin Smith refers to it as that stupid fucking walrus movie.
But I mean, like, I absolutely love Kevin Smith, but yeah, I agree. Like, I'm excited for Clerks 3. Like, I have hope. Clerks 2 was good.
I did love Clerks 2. I went and saw Clerks 2 in the theater
Yeah, same here.
when that came out. That did not need a musical number right in the middle of that fucking movie, but
Whatever.
everything else was great.
Yeah.
That was just awkward and weird.
Red State was really good too. That's one that does not get a lot of play, and like
I keep hearing that, and I just never get around to it.
I don't even think it's streaming anywhere right now.
I don't think it is. I think it's very much like you have to find this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. On to our next fact here. Doug Jones spent 3 hours every day getting into the costume, and according to him, it was nothing compared to the costumes he has worn in other films by Guillermo Del Toro. Which 3 hours, like to a normal person, that sounds like a lot of fucking time. But that's really not that much
For makeup that heavy. No.
A full suit, makeup. I don't know. Like they must have had an easy suit for him to get into, and then they just had to like cover up a bunch of seams.
Cover up the seams. Yeah. I mean, like I want to say even Ron Perlman said like it was like 4 or 5 hours, I think, for his makeup for Hellboy.
Yeah.
And I want to say, if I remember correctly, like for Mystique in the first X-Men movie, I think it was like 7 or 8 hours just of makeup.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem with the Mystique makeup was like they had to apply like all those scales.
Yeah, like each individual scale. Yeah.
Yeah, which that's fucking ridiculous. The color green is a reoccurring theme in the film's aesthetic, often in a highly luminous form. The fillings of the pies in Giles' fridge, the green jello that's mentioned on 2 separate occasions, the uniforms that the cleaners wear, the candy that Strickland is seen eating, as well as his teal Cadillac. There are also various other background props such as towels, curtains, and hand soaps in the bathroom at the facility. Also,
I did notice that soap was bright green.
The entire film has like a green wash over it.
Yeah.
As well. That's just the direction he went in this movie. It's like, I don't know, it's just gonna be green. Another cool thing that I remember from, I want to say it was in the special features of the DVD. It wasn't listed in the IMDb facts, but her wall, like, do you remember watching it? The wall in her apartment that's like really raggedy looking. It's like in her kitchen sort of room.
Yeah. I want to say Richard Jenkins is standing in front of it right now, actually.
Underneath all that like shittiness of the paint is actually a picture of, the painting, The Great Wave?
Yes, Great Wave Kanagawa.
Yeah, that's on the wall there.
Huh. More of the water theme, like.
Yeah, it's super Del Toro-y.
Actually, I have the Godzilla version of that hanging in my bedroom.
Is that the one from Loot Crate?
No. Amanda got it for me as a present. It's like a humongous, like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably like 3 by like 4. Like it's
Holy
gigantic.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's hanging over our dresser.
Awesome. It took over 9 months to arrive at the look of the creature, and director Guillermo Del Toro calls it the most difficult movie he and his team have ever designed.
All right.
Which, I mean, I can't imagine why it would take 9 months to just add gills and fins to Abe Sapien.
Yeah, add some spines and some extra fins. Yeah.
I mean, unless he was talking about like the colors and the like the patterning on his scales and shit like that. That is
like
a lot
maybe
different.
like figuring out the prosthetics, like what would be needed and like all that.
Yeah.
Like that, I
But
believe took
otherwise,
9 months.
Otherwise, it's just a feral-looking Abe Sapien.
Yeah.
Richard Jenkins' character was originally written for Ian McKellen.
Huh.
And Ian McKellen could have done a great job of this. Richard Jenkins, 100% was the better choice.
Yeah. 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 You know, I'm trying to picture Ian McKellen, and I don't think he like.
Maybe Ian McKellen, like 10 or 15 years previous to this, would have been a better choice.
Yeah,
But
still like.
not at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. He says because he's very like actory, you know, like he just has this air about him, like, you know, and then like, not that Richard Jenkins, you know, isn't a great actor, but he is like a more just kind of like humble everyman kind of like, charisma
Yeah,
to him.
He's more fluid, I think.
Yeah, seems like more of an approachable person, like,
Yeah.
you know, where Ian McKellen is just very like, I don't know, he just seems kind of like stony and like very.
He's Ian McKellen, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like saying Christopher Lee is like he can't play an everyman because he can't.
Yeah. Like, you telling me Christopher Lee can't play a guy in a pickup truck who like hangs drywall for a living? No, he can't.
I'm telling you exactly, he can't.
Yeah.
The paint job became one of the more prominent challenges after the initial inspiration for the color palette resulted in a creature that was too pale and ghostly.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it just refers to him as Hill. I'm assuming the person in charge of the special effects makeup. It says Hill proceeded to spend 2 weeks on completely redoing the paint job after the film tests. The gills were built with animatronics so that the team could move them in concert with Jones's performance, who was fucking phenomenal in this again.
Who's been phenomenal in every
Doug
movie
Jones
we've watched this month except the last
Doug
one.
Jones is just great.
Yeah.
I think the only one he hasn't been in was Pacific Rim. From the beginning, it was decided that CGI would be used to make the amphibian man's eyes move and blink, and to create additional subtle movements in the facial area, as there was just no room to add any more animatronics under the low-profile makeup. It says if you have 90% of it physically there, and you add a bit of digital animation on top of it, it fools the audience, which is hard to do today. Which is what we say all the fucking time.
That is how CGI should be used.
Yes. Give me the physical makeup. Give me real. And then tweak it with CGI. You know, like add add the, you know, like the glitter on top of your fucking arts and crafts, you know? Like, it doesn't need to be all CGI all the time.
Going back to the repainting of the creature, I'm wondering if we did originally get a green creature, and that's why he's blue, to make him stand out, because like now that I'm watching it, it's the scene where he's like coming out of Eliza's bathroom.
He's very colorful.
Yeah,
like, he's very bright.
He stands out because he's not green and everything else is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they might have had it like a very like pale blue or like a kind of a grayish color.
Yeah.
I will never know, but I'm glad they went and changed it, because he stands out. Like, he's not just another thing in the background. This is going to be our last IMDb trivia fact here. While filming the scene where Michael Shannon drives to confront Sally Hawkins' character upon discovering she helped the creature escape, Shannon drove his car and stopped outside of the theater, but he forgot to put the car in park. This resulted in the car rolling down the street, and it collided with a decorative pole as well as a telephone pole, damaging the poles and Shannon's vehicle. The production team decided that the take was so well done that they kept it in the film.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, how about that for a happy accident? And that is going to take us out of IMDb trivia.
All right, moving right along. Let me pull up my facts on the folks in this movie. We normally start out with our director, but as we've gone into pretty much every aspect of Guillermo Del Toro over the past 5 weeks,
We've done it 4 times already.
Yeah, we're good. We know who he is. So we will start off with Sally Hawkins. She played Eliza in this movie, and played her just perfectly.
Yeah.
If you are listening to us, the thing you probably would know her from, aside from this, she is
Paddington?
yes, the Paddington Bear movie. No, she is actually in Godzilla and in King of the Monsters. She's in the first 2 of those movies, which they just announced a sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong today.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I just saw it a little while ago. I did not hear a thing about it. I'm pleasantly surprised. Question mark.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always going to fucking watch a movie where 2 giant monsters beat each other up. I just hope it's a little bit better than Godzilla vs. Kong.
Here's the thing. Like, those 2 movies, even actually Kong was pretty successful when that came out.
Yeah, Skull Island, yeah.
Those 2 movies most recently, very popular. So now they're just going to milk it dry.
Yeah. Whatever. Just give us more King of the Monsters and less, crap.
Just keep adding monsters.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Let's see. We mentioned the Paddington movies. Aside from that, she's in a lot of like artsy stuff. Not to slight slight our audience. But if I haven't heard of a lot of this stuff, that probably means most of you haven't. She was in Layer Cake, which we mentioned, I think, last week. Cool. Daniel Craig, that was the movie that kind of shot him to stardom. Sorry, you were going to say?
Yeah. Who was she in the Godzilla flicks? Like,
she was like the doctor working alongside of, oh God, I can't remember the actor's name. Dr. Sarazawa, that was the character. Is it Ken Watanabe? Maybe? Let's see.
That sounds like a different guy.
Ken Watanabe. I am damn good.
Was it really? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Dr. Ishiro Sarazawa. She was Dr. Vivian Graham. She gets killed by Ghidorah. Spoilers. Let's see. Anything else notable? Layer Cake I mentioned. No, that's really about it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Her first movie role? Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Really?
She was an uncredited villager.
Oh, shit.
So, moving right along, Octavia Spencer is up next. What was her character's name? I forget already.
Zelda.
Zelda, yes, Zelda. She played Eliza's friend Zelda. She has been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, when she started getting into like bigger movies, she fucking exploded.
Yeah, I mean, she'd already been around for a while. Like, she has a lot of one-offs on TV.
Yeah.
She is in the Demon House movie, which I believe is based on the story of that house, I think in Indiana, that the dude from Ghosts something or other ended up buying and like tearing down because it was like just so like it was like basically inhabited by demons apparently, if you believe that type of thing.
Okay, so here's my thing. I am a hardcore skeptic. Like, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in, you know, like Ouija boards and demons and shit like that. But I am aesthetically fascinated by them.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I would love for that shit to be real, and I'm open to the idea that, you know, maybe, but I've never come across anything supernatural in my life.
We went into this a couple weeks ago. I've seen some shit.
Yeah. I've never seen anything that I couldn't explain otherwise.
I have seen some shit. Just a quick. I lived in an apartment for 10 years that was, without a doubt, fucking haunted. Like, no joke. I and like many, like probably most of the other people who lived there would agree that this place is haunted. Like, there were just multiple times we just saw shit that like just could not be explained. Like one of these are just like little. I'll give you two quick examples of just like, well, that's fucking weird. Like just typical, like, you know, haunting activities. I remember one day I was by myself. I was just like sweeping up the floor, like cleaning up the living room. And we, at the time we had these Bose, like we had like a Bose speaker system. And like the Bose speakers, like they're not going to just like, they're pretty solid. Like they have a wide base. Like they're not something you could just like tip over, you know? Mm-hmm. They're not huge, but they're maybe like a foot tall. Like they're just, it's not something that's going to fall over easily. And I remember I'm sweeping up the floor, and I think I'd gone out to the porch. We had a porch like right off the living room where our garbage can was. And I think I went out to take some garbage out. And when I walked in, I just happened to be looking at like the coffee table where one of the speakers was. And again, it wasn't resting, like, you know, about to tip over. It was nothing was pressing on it. Nothing bumped into it. Like I just watched it just go from standing straight up to just thump, like on its side. Like, like, okay, that was fucking weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. This is the same room, probably right around the same, you know, time frame. Not the same day or anything, but within probably the same couple of months. My friend, who actually would later, he didn't live at the apartment at that point, but he would later on. We were in the living room, and like there was an ottoman that we always just had between like the two chairs, like that faced the TV. Like we just, if you weren't putting your feet on it, you'd throw, you know, magazine or put your plate on it or something if you're eating dinner. And I remember he put his wallet on the ottoman, and like we just, you know, I just remember looking down and I saw the wallet fucking slide across the ottoman. Like nobody was touching it. Like it just like you know, like basically you'd see like a Ouija board planchette do it, like in, you know, in a horror movie, like where it just moves on its own. Yeah, it just whoop. And like I saw it, and like I just know, you know, my friend he saw it too. He's like, you saw that, right? I'm like, yeah, I saw that, and like there's like no way, you know, that's ever gonna happen again, right? And like he picks the wallet up, puts it back, and we're both sitting there staring at it, and dude, sure as shit, whoop, just slides across the fucking ottoman. Yeah. We're like, yep, all right, well, we're not going to fuck with that anymore. Just move the wallet, man. Just put it somewhere else.
How many illicit substances were you on at that point?
One. Yeah, I mean, like, it wasn't like we were like highly intoxicated.
At least one. Yeah.
But I mean, we have dozens of stories like that. Those are just two, like, examples over. I lived in that apartment for 10 years, so we got a lot of examples of shit like that.
I mean, that's cool. Yeah. I like it. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
it's whatever. I love watching like documentary-ish things about haunted houses or haunted places.
Yeah, I love that shit, but like,
it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I will say probably 99.999% of people who tell you they have a ghost story are bullshitting you. Like, yeah, I just, there are things like I said, I've seen things that I cannot fucking explain. You know, call me crazy, call me stupid for believing it, but like, I know what I saw, and I cannot explain what I saw on multiple occasions.
Yeah. I don't know that I would love to have one of those experiences.
Yeah.
Because it would change a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, there are times, like, this is another one. Like, this would happen frequently, to the point where it didn't bother me anymore. But the first time it happened, scared the fucking piss out of me.
Yeah.
Multiple times. I would be the only person in the apartment, usually on the weekends. Like, whoever, like, my one roommate is in a band, still is in a band, and Fridays and Saturdays he was just gone, like always playing gigs and just never, didn't come home. And then our third, like, apartment, our third bedroom was always kind of like rotating, like, so there's either somebody, who did live there and were out doing something, or just did nobody live there. So, like, usually, like, from Friday to Sunday, like, I had the apartment to myself. And on multiple fucking occasions, I would go into my room to go to bed. I would always fucking close the door because of this shit. But I would, like, I'd be in my room, and I would hear, clear as fucking day, footsteps coming from the back of the apartment, up through the kitchen, through the little hallway where the bathroom was, through the dining room, and out into our living room. Dozens of times I heard that. Clear as day, somebody just walking through the apartment. There's nobody there.
Well, that's unsettling.
Yeah, nobody
That's
home.
unsettling as shit.
Yeah. Like I said, first time it happened, scared the shit out of me. Fifth time it happened, scared the shit out of me. 25th time it happened, all right, I'm getting used to this. Just leave me the fuck alone. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, it's bedtime, Ghost. Like, chill. Oh man, I just watched that scene where Michael Shannon sniffs his rotting fingers and then squeezes the pus out of them.
Oh god, that was like the green fucking pus like oozes out.
Yeah.
Oh god, that fucking scene where he just breaks him off is so gross.
It throws him on the floor.
Yeah. There, here.
I'm done with these.
Oh, fucking nasty.
It's fucking gross.
Anyway, Octavia Spencer, back to her.
Yeah,
she was in.
That was a fucking tangent.
Yeah. Speaking of segues, she was in the most recent version of The Witches, which is actually pretty good. I want to say Guillermo Del Toro produced that and possibly wrote it too. I know we talked about it within the past couple of weeks. It was a Del Toro month discussion.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Well, you know what? Again, it's like I have an internet movie database sitting right in front of me.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yep, screenplay by Guillermo Del Toro, along with Robert Zemeckis. Wow, and Kenya Barris, the creator of Blackish.
Really?
Yeah, but anyway, she was the grandmother in that version of The Witches. She was also the voice of the Manticore in Onward, which was a fantastic movie, great Pixar movie, especially if you're into like D&D. I highly recommend checking that out. And
I didn't see that one. I saw parts of it. My kids watched it like a bunch.
Yeah, it very much in like the same vein as Coco. The last couple of minutes are going to tear your heart out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Especially if you're, if you've lost a parent, probably, like it's going to hit you very, very hard.
Cool.
Anyway, moving on. Some of the other stuff that Octavia Spencer was in. She was in that movie Ma recently, which was like a horror movie that was actually kind of entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was very good in that. She was like the psychopath killer in that. Let's see, Hidden Figures she was in, about the female, the African American mathematicians. We were kind of like doing all the hard work for NASA back in the day.
Yeah.
I do not remember her being in the Bad Santa movies, and I honestly don't know if I saw the second one. But she's in both of them.
I don't remember if I saw the second one.
She played Harry.
Was she the one that he hooks up with in the bathroom?
Opal is just her credit in both of them. Opal.
I don't know. I remember a scene where he said something like, "You're not going to shit right for a week."
Yeah.
Just fucking somebody in a bathroom.
She played Harriet Tubman in an episode of Drunk History. I remember that one. It was really funny.
Yeah.
She was in
She was
Snowpiercer.
in,
I didn't remember that either.
I think her like breakout role was in The Help, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, that was like the one I think that kind of made her a household name. But again,
Yeah.
she's been around for a long time and had a lot of like one-offs on some of the bigger, like a lot of big name stuff. She was in Halloween 2, the Rob
What?
Zombie one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, she has been around for a while.
She was in the Joss Whedon TV series Dollhouse for an episode. She was in Drag Me to Hell, the Sam Raimi horror movie.
I still have not seen that.
I almost watched it yesterday. I was like lining up, thinking like, okay, I might watch this. Let me go see the next streaming service, see if there's anything else I want to watch instead. And that lost out
The
to
trailers. The trailers of that just didn't do anything.
It was pretty
Excuse
good.
me.
What did I end up watching instead of that? I don't think I even finished it because it was boring whenever I ended up watching.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else? She was on CSI New York.
Let me just tell you, I love the sketch that Giles does of Eliza hugging the.
Yes, where you just see like her
creature.
eye kind of peeking over his shoulder.
That looks like a Yoshitaka Amano drawing, which I don't know if you're familiar with him just off name.
I am not.
But he's the guy that did all the early Final Fantasy art.
Oh, okay.
Those like really washed out,
Yeah.
like kind of sketchy looking things. Yeah, he did all the cover art for the Vampire Hunter D novel.
Yeah, it looks like everything's kind of like lit with like bright, soft lighting. Like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. All right, yeah, good to know. I
so good.
chances are, I bet you fucking Guillermo Del Toro drew that.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
I just didn't tell anybody. He was just like, I'm just gonna secretly put my artistic genius in this movie.
She was on the Titus TV series for a couple of episodes. She was in the first Spider-Man movie in 2002. Grounded for Life, another sitcom she was on. That was a really good sitcom with Donald Logue.
Yeah, it really was.
Malcolm in the Middle she was on. She was in the movie Big Mama's House. She was on Just Shoot Me. She was on an episode of The X-Files. She has been around for a while. ER.
Who wasn't on an episode of the X-Files?
And her first role was in 1996 in A Time to Kill. I believe that's the John Grisham movie with Samuel L. Jackson.
A Time to Kill?
Yeah.
I think you're right, yeah.
They deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
That was Mississippi Burning.
I'm pretty sure it was Time to Kill. Mississippi Burning was Denzel Washington.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, moving on to professional asshole Michael Shannon. Again, I don't mean that as a slight. Like, he's just really fucking good at it.
Yeah. He might be like the best person in the world.
Yeah. Like, well,
you put him in front of a camera though.
Yeah. Just icy asshole. Probably the biggest, thing our listeners would know him from. He is the most recent General Zod in the DC movies. It looks like that is a role he'll be reviving if and when the next Flash movie gets released. If Ezra Miller can just stop getting arrested every 10 minutes, that'd be great.
Doesn't seem like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He was great on Boardwalk Empire.
Yes, he played the same, like, kind of similar character to this, where he was like,
Pretty much,
an FBI guy, like very by the books.
Like that could have been this character's father.
Yeah, for sure. Same thing, by the books until he just, starts breaking rules and ends up going on the lam.
Fucking hookers.
He was in the movie Knives Out, which I think we mentioned a week or two ago. That was a really good mystery.
Yes.
Murder mystery.
Yeah, I have to watch that too. My to watch list is ludicrous.
I saw this credit and it made me laugh because apparently he played Ringo Starr in a sketch on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, which I could absolutely see him doing. Like as serious as an actor as he is, he does like some comedy stuff here and there.
Yeah.
He was in the most recent version of Fahrenheit 451. I believe that was the one with Michael B. Jordan. He was in the movie The Current War, which I didn't see. I wanted to watch that. I think it was
that was the one. It was Edison and Tesla. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Elvis and Nixon. He played Elvis in the movie Elvis and Nixon. That was 2016. Midnight Special.
He is not handsome.
Yeah, he does not look like Elvis.
He is not handsome enough to be Elvis.
Midnight Special is a really, really good movie. He is like the dad of this kid, like who is an alien, possibly. Father and son go on the run, pursued by the government and a cult drawn to the child's special powers. Like his eyes, like he always has goggles, like sun goggles on because his eyes are always glowing. I think it turns out like he's an alien or something like that at the end.
Weird.
Yeah, and Michael Shannon like plays his dad in that. He was really good in it. One of the few roles where he's not an asshole.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, which we mentioned, General Zod.
Yep.
He was in Jonah Hex, which comes up every now and again on this show.
I love that movie.
I need to watch that. I never saw that. He was in before the.
Yeah, if you like.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If you like supernatural westerns, then that's a movie for you.
That's the movie for you. He was in Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, which was a really good movie. I want to say it's Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke. Yeah, they play like brothers who end up like stealing like this expensive like jewelry collection, I believe, like from their parents. Really, really good movie. That was 2007. That was 15 years ago. Wow.
Why you gotta be like that?
He was in Bad Boys 2. Don't remember that. Oh, I think he's one of the. There's this scene where like they bust up the KKK rally. I think he's one of the guys. He was in 8 Mile. He was in Pearl Harbor, which was not that good of a movie.
Fun fact for me, he was in a movie called Take Shelter? Or Shelter Me?
Give Me Shelter, maybe?
Something like that.
I'm looking.
And it's about, I want to say it's like a storm rolling through.
Take Shelter,
the place
yeah.
where he lives. Take Shelter. That was directed by... Oh, boy. I can't remember his first name. His last name is Nichols. And he is the brother of Ben Nichols, who is the lead singer and guitar player for the country band Lucero.
Okay, yeah, you're a big fan of theirs. You just saw them.
I love them so much. I met Ben Nichols, and I'm not normally one to get like flabbergasted by a celebrity because like they're people, like whatever. I could not fucking talk to this man.
No, I know
like,
that.
It was so dumb.
Yep. I turned into a like quivering pile of mush in front of Patton Oswalt before I was eventually able to get a joke out.
Yeah, no, it's like
hey man,
like after the
thanks for the great show.
Yeah. Like after the show, he's walking around, he goes to the bar, grabs a fucking drink or whatever, and Shelly's like, he's right there. And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, like, buy him a drink. I was like, I can't do that.
Does not compute.
Yeah. We had gotten a set list from one of the guys on stage. And I was like, oh, fuck, I can get him to sign this, and it'll be awesome. And Shelly goes up with the set list, and she goes, hey, can you sign this? And he goes, oh, absolutely. And he signs it. He's super fucking nice. Talks to us just a second. And more talks to her because I can't make words happen.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Oh, can we get a picture?" He's like, "Absolutely." Like, nice as can be, like, down to earth, like, not super, like, fucking musician guy. And I'm just like, I have this big stupid smile on my face the whole fucking time, because what I want to say is like, I was in the worst place in my life, and your music was the only thing I listened to for a long time, and I want to thank you. It just came out like, thanks for the picture.
Yeah. Yep. I know that feeling, man. Like I said, when I met Patton Oswalt, my first time in LA, this was 2013. This is back when the Evil Geeks name had enough cachet to get me like press passes and like stuff like that, like tickets to events.
Yeah.
And I was going to LA, so I was looking around. I see Patton Oswalt's doing a show at this like art gallery, and like there's a thing for press inquiries. I'm like, I wonder if I can get fucking tickets. So like,
Click.
yeah, hit him up, get the email. Yeah, sure, we'll put you on the list. So like, my first night in LA. I think I've been in LA about 3 hours at this point. Like I went to my hotel, like dropped my shit off, and went right to the show. Get there, and they have a seat reserved for me on the side of the fucking stage. Like,
Get out of here.
not like front row, like on the side of the stage, which I have a picture of too. So we're like already, I'm like, oh my god, like I'm out of my depth. Like, what am I doing? Like, somebody's gonna figure out. Like, I'm just some website nerd. Like,
I don't belong here.
like this is gonna go bad. Like, so I watched the entire set, like 10 feet away from Patton Oswalt.
Jesus Christ.
And so like my seat is just like the door is right there. So like I was the first to leave after the show. Like he does his thing, like signs off, and just boom, takes off. So I'm like, all right, it was awesome. Fucking getting my shit together, like getting ready to leave. I'm like the first person out the door because I'm just right there. And as I walk out, he's just sitting next to the door, like just hanging out. Like I don't know if he was smoking a cigarette or something. He was just like, if you were smoking a cigarette, like that's where you'd sit.
Yeah.
And like it's just the two of us. And I'm like, hey man, like
Yeah.
just let me just fall to pieces while trying to get words out. Like,
Yeah, I've been to like hundreds of fucking shows.
yeah,
And I've met people who like their art means a lot to me. And like this particular instance, it just meant a super lot to me, and I just couldn't bring that out.
like I just same thing. Like, oh, I've been in LA for 3 hours, and oh look, it's my favorite comedian. Like, how are you?
I'm from Wilmette.
Yeah, 40 minutes door to door. That's 2 shows in a row that line has been quoted.
Yeah, well,
It's still funny.
fits.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We're still on Mike Shannon, believe it or not. I think I might have gone through everything he was in. Let me just double check. Oh no, fucking Christ, no. Boardwalk Empire we mentioned, which is even aside from him, a great series, like up and down. Steve Buscemi is fucking awesome in that. And what's his name? The guy who just died, Omar.
Oh yeah. Michael
something.
I feel really bad about that because I love.
Yeah, because
his
he's
acting.
awesome in like everything. Because he was in Lovecraft Country too, which was awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Hold on, I'm looking it up because I need.
Last couple episodes of that weren't great.
I dug it. Michael Kenneth Williams.
It went just way too far off the fucking rails.
Okay. Back to Michael Shannon. Take Shelter, which you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Theft Parsons. You ever see that movie?
I don't think so. I know I've seen that title.
It is about It's starring Johnny Knoxville. After Graham Parsons died, a partially fictional account. After his death, his friends like stole his body and like took it on like a last road trip. It's just a Joshua Tree here.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good movie. Christina Applegate was in that. I don't remember that. It's been a while. Anyway, moving on. Anything else notable? Oh, he was in the movie Groundhog Day, which I do not remember him being in that. But he is.
Jesus Christ. He must have been super
Yeah, that was 1993. Good God, that movie's 29 years old.
Groundhog Day was from 93?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
I don't know why, but I always envisioned that being like 89.
Yeah, no, 1993.
No, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because I do remember that coming out. So.
Okay.
Ugh.
I was 14 when that came out. Doug Jones, who we have gone into depth, his credits over the past month.
I don't think we could possibly talk more about Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Same with Guillermo. Like,
yeah, we've gone over pretty much everything. I'm pretty
they
sure
they are really the chocolate and peanut butter of the film industry. Though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure we mentioned this before, but he is playing Count Orlok in the forthcoming version of Nosferatu. Yeah. Which, if it's...
That's just called Orlok, isn't it?
No, it says Nosferatu.
Oh.
Is that... He looks awesome, if that's him on the cover that I'm looking at here.
Yeah?
Yeah, he looks really cool. I mean, he looks like the original, like, Count Orlok, but, like, a much, much better version.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that when that comes out.
I'm down for
Yeah.
that.
All right. Moving on.
Did I ever tell you a little side tangent? Because, of course,
Yeah.
I went to the Palace one year and saw a screening of Nosferatu with an orchestra doing the music.
Oh, man, that had to have been awesome.
Oh, so good.
I only saw that
Oh,
movie for the
so
first
good.
time, like, maybe last Halloween, maybe the one before.
It's not a good movie, but, like,
If you're...
tonally, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're a horror or film buff, like, it's homework. It's required, like, viewing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's a goddamn 100-year-old movie. Like,
Yeah.
you're only going to get so much enjoyment out of it.
Like, the film grain adds to the spooky factor and all that. Like, it's just, yeah. Fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Don't watch the version with the typo negative soundtrack because it just repeats like 4 songs. I was really excited when I knew that there was such a thing. It let me down real hard.
Moving on to Richard Jenkins, I completely forgot that he is the dad in Step Brothers. That's the thing most of our listeners will probably know him from.
Dr. Doback.
Thank you, Doback, Mr. Doback. What's his name? Robert, I think? Shit, I don't remember. I fucked up the joke.
I think it's Robert.
Yeah.
The son's Robert.
No, the son's Dale, I believe.
Yeah, then he's Robert.
Yeah, Dr. Robert Doback.
Yeah.
You don't have to call me Mr. Doback.
We are a family of learned doctors. God, that movie's so good. It's the dumbest fucking movie ever.
Yeah, it's just
but it's so
endlessly
good.
entertaining.
Sprechen Sie dick?
Oh, man.
Did you touch my drum set?
I got a belly full of white dog crap, then you drop this shit on me? Anyway. He was actually in Kong Skull Island. I don't remember that, but he played Senator Willis in Kong Skull Island.
I believe it. He's got a very, like, senator look to him.
Yeah. He was in Bone Tomahawk, which is a movie I've been trying to see recently, and I have not been successful.
Oh my god, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go into it thinking it's like a blockbuster.
Oh no, it's like
good,
a bloody
amazing movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gore
Yeah,
fest.
yeah. He was in the first Jack Reacher movie, which was not that great. The Reacher TV series is pretty good though.
I have heard
Yeah,
that.
pretty deep, pretty good. I watched it within a couple of days. It was pretty good. It was really good.
I was talking to somebody that had read a bunch of the books, and he said this is much more accurate.
Yeah.
Depiction of the character.
Well, the character's supposed to be like a giant. He's supposed to be 7 feet tall.
Yeah, he's like a big, bulky dude who throws his weight around all the time.
And then in the movie, he was played by Tom Cruise.
Yeah, what's he, 4'8"?
Yeah, he's honestly probably 5'2".
Yeah.
Anyway, he was in Cabin in the Woods, which I know we've talked about before, is definitely an incredible horror movie. He is one of the two technician guys that were kind of spoilers we're following.
Yeah.
Who are watching the kids. It's him and
Yeah, right at the end there.
yeah. Oh Christ, who was the other guy's name? Bradley Whitford. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Not the Aerosmith Bradley Whitford, the actor Bradley Whitford.
That's just Brad.
He was in The Rum Diary with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, the movie where they met.
Yeah, that movie was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
It was like a knockoff Fear and Loathing.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's based on a Hunter S. Thompson book.
But I know, but it felt like
it just
they were trying to capture that.
Yeah, and not
that
well.
same essence. Yeah.
Let's see. Step Brothers, which we mentioned. Burn After Reading, which is a Coen Brothers movie, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not very good.
Yeah. I remember that being just kind of eh. Me, Myself, and Irene. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
Also not very good.
They're trying to cash in on that. There's something about Mary, popularity.
Pretty much, yeah.
Let's see. I don't want to miss anything. He was in Wolf, 1984.
Another Aerosmith reference, huh?
I don't want to miss a thing.
God, I hate that song.
Good God, Aerosmith.
Remember when they were a rock band?
Yeah.
Now they're a power ballad band.
He was in the movie
Without the power.
Little Nikita, which I completely forgot about until I was looking through this earlier. It was an 80s movie with Sidney Poitier and River Phoenix. River Phoenix finds out his parents are Russian spies. And Sidney Poitier is a guy, an FBI agent who ends up helping him out.
All right.
And that is really some of the bigger stuff that he's known for.
Yeah.
He's in the movie Witches of Eastwick with Jack Nicholson and Cher and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Chair.
Yes.
Hey, Chair.
Moving on, Michael Stuhlbarg. He played Dr. Hofstadter in this. He was also in Boardwalk Empire. He played Arnold Rothstein in that. Yeah, I did not realize that. I was looking through this. I was oh. He is currently in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. He plays a character from the first movie who kind of shows up for a hot second. And
yeah, you said a mild recommend on that. Yeah, maybe catch it, maybe not.
I fucking loved it.
Is
He plays a character who kind of shows up and kind of reminds Doctor Strange that hey, yeah, you know how you did that thing that kind of saved the whole world, but kind of fucked us all for 5 years. Did you have to do that? Because there's a lot of bad shit happened to me because of that.
Yeah.
Moving on. He was in The Shape of Water. I mentioned he's Dr. Hofstadter. Boardwalk Empire, I mentioned. He was in Men in Black 3, which is definitely the least enjoyable of those movies.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because the second one was pretty bad also. He was in Law and Order, Original Flavor.
Of course he was.
He did a couple episodes of Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which I thought was a pretty good show, but it got shit canned after its first year, I believe. It was like a dramatic, it's like a drama that took place in like an SNL type of TV show, like a behind the scenes type of deal.
Yeah.
Also in Law and Order, Criminal Intent, and that's really about all of the bigger known stuff. Moving on, David Hewlett. He played Fleming in this movie. I don't exactly remember who Fleming was, but he was also in...
Was Fleming the guy that was like kind of in charge of the lab until...
Oh, he was the guy with the mustache and the
Michael
glasses,
Shannon's
I think. Yeah, okay, yep,
the
yeah.
shitty
He was like the
crew cut.
spiky hair. Yeah, okay, I know who he... Yeah. He was in Nightmare Alley, which is the most recent Guillermo Del Toro movie. Let's see. Aside from that, he was in the movie Midway, which was not good, about the Battle of Midway, I believe. I just remember it not being great.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen too many like really good World War II movies lately.
Did he? Yeah, he was on Critical Role.
What? What?
He was on an episode of Critical Role as himself, The Favor, 2019.
So I'm assuming that he does like voice acting work as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually will say, but no, it just says as David Hewlett. As Dave Hewlett, yeah.
Well, yeah, because that's who he was on the show. But like, normally people they bring in as guests on that are well known like voice actors.
Yeah, I don't know. He usually will say the voice, though. It doesn't. He just, yeah. I mean, he's himself on the show. Where was it? Oh, yeah, Critical Role. Was there a reason I saved him? I think there was. Oh, he was in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, too. I saved it thinking...
He was in what?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I thought that was the good Planet of the Apes movie, but it's the first one. The one with James Franco, the least good of those movies. The second one...
I haven't seen any.
Oh, really? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is fucking great.
Because I didn't want to go back to them because Tim Burton and not Andy Serkis, Mark Wahlberg ruined
nothing to do.
Ruined it for me.
100%.
I know it's nothing to do with it, but like...
Yeah, I would even skip the first movie. If you do check them out, just know that like there's a virus that like makes apes intelligent. Like really, you could watch the end of the first movie for the cool battle like on the bridge with all the apes. The second movie is incredible. It's basically like a power struggle between like Caesar, like the head ape, and like this other dude, and like Caesar's more like we should be working with the humans and kind of building a relationship, where this other guy is just like fuck them, like we're in charge, like let's just fucking take over everything. Do
I get a Dr. Zaius?
It's like he's another like chimp, so he's not like an orangutan, like 'cause the orangutans in this like serve the like pretty much the same role as the orangutans in the original. They're like the smarter ones. It's just like a Shakespearean like power struggle, and like all while they're like kind of dealing with like the remnants of the humans, like the last pretty much gasp of humanity. Really, really good. Like just had no reason to be as good as it was. And then War for the Planet of the Apes is actually pretty good too. That not as good as the second one, but definitely better than the first one. That's the one with Woody Harrelson.
So there's
three. Yeah,
of
and I
Yeah.
just heard a rumor they're working on a fourth one, but it wouldn't continue the story from the first three. It would be like kind of what's going on, like
Godzilla meets Planet of the Apes.
it would be like what's going on like other parts of the country, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and then War for the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
He was in the movie Splice, that horror movie with Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley, where they make the crazy fucked up like sort of girl thing with a tail and
Yeah, it was like a genetics gone wild movie.
yeah, killer like Mewtwo.
Those were pretty popular in the late 90s.
Had a stint on ER, it looks like. Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, TV classic, syndicated 90s shows. Let's see. Forever Night, which was a credit I noticed here on a lot, like this week.
Yeah.
That was a shitty
Vampire Detective.
Yeah, I was going to say a shitty syndicated show from the 90s. Yeah, Vampire Detective.
I might go back and watch that.
My Secret Identity, which I think I mentioned a while back. It was another syndicated TV show. This one starring Jerry O'Connell as like this kid who gets superpowers and like
Yes, we did.
yeah, like the professor who like helps him, and yeah, that was a show that was on in 1988.
That was a show.
He was on an episode of Friday the 13th, the series, which was also not great. Let's see. Moving along.
That sucked. Freddy's Nightmares sucked.
Did you this week? Like they added. I think it was May 1st. Actually, they added Freddy's Nightmares to Shudder, and then like a bunch of people were like, "Yes, finally get to see this series. Like, been wanting to see this for years." And then like in the past 2 days, I keep seeing posts like, "Has anybody watched this?" Like, it's not really good.
You, oh, you sweet summer
you
child!
You fucking suckers.
No.
It was not good.
No, I was not looking forward to seeing that. I saw that it did go up there, and I was like,
yeah,
that's rookie bait.
I saw at least like 3 or 4 posts on that on the Joe Bob group of people like, yes, finally get to watch this. Like, so excited.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, guys.
Just
no. In all seriousness, though, like. Cool TV show that is coming back that is probably going to be fucking rad. Kids in the Hall stuff.
Yeah. Is it out already or does it start tomorrow?
I believe today.
Oh, fuck. Well, I know what I got to do after this.
I'm looking at it right now. I can play season 1, episode 1.
Oh, yes.
So that is what I'm going to be doing as soon as we're done here.
You know, there's a fair chance I'm not going to work tomorrow. Anyway, Nick Searcy, we're moving on. In this movie, he was General Hoyt. He was the general that Michael Shannon was reporting to. He's another guy who's known for like a lot of one-offs. He's been in a lot of stuff. You've probably seen him in something. Like I said, he's just been in a lot of big name stuff, but only in like one-off capacity. Yeah. The biggest role that he's probably notable from was on a show that I mention on here every chance I get. He was on Justified. He was Timothy Oliphant's boss in the Marshals.
Yes, you do love talking about that show.
Fucking awesome. Love some.
I watched the first season and I just couldn't get into it.
Oh man. Walton Goggins.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear like the first season is okay, and then it fucking gets like astronomically better.
Yeah, Walton Goggins, like he was supposed to die in that first season, and then they're like, he's kind of good in this, and then
he plays such a good like mega scumbag.
Yeah, and he does through like he just gets so like better and better throughout the rest of that series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch that show
fucking
again.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Yeah. I love that show too, The Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
He was on an episode of the Lethal Weapon TV series.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
true.
We're not gonna.
That was like a fanfic kind
Not
of thing.
familiar. Hey, 11/22/63.
63.
Holy shit! I was right about that. He was in that.
It turns out we are better at Stephen King than we are at
Yeah.
U.S. history.
Very sad, but whatever. It saved us in this one instance. He was in that.
Yep.
11/22/63. He was in an episode of Key and Peele. Justified, I mentioned. He is in 78 episodes of that show. A lot of one-offs, like I said. The Mentalist, Lie to Me. That was that show with Tim Roth.
Yeah, that looked bad.
Yeah. Without a Trace. Eagle Eye. I think that was that movie with Shia LaBeouf. That was
Eagle Eye?
yeah. That was basically just a
It was Rear Window, wasn't it?
no. It was like a crazy like government surveillance. Like they see everything. It was basically the movie Enemy of the State,
Oh, yeah.
except with Shia LaBeouf
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of Will Smith.
Yeah. What was the Shia LaBeouf like? Or was it just a direct remake of Rear Window?
I don't know.
I don't remember. It's not important. Shia LaBeouf is not important. That's right. I said it.
And again, like I said, a lot of TV one-offs. Boston Legal, Criminal Minds, NCIS, CSI. The West Wing, CSI Miami, making the tour of CSIs. He's in the movie Castaway. Yeah, good for him.
Oh wow.
He's in the show American Gothic,
Must be for like
which he was
that?
on that show American Gothic, which I remember like people really, really enjoyed. I don't know, it just didn't look all that good to me.
I didn't know it was a thing.
He was on Nash Bridges, episode of that, episode of Roswell.
We're almost getting to those years.
He was on an episode of the In the Heat of the Night TV series, an episode of L.A.
That
Law.
was so good.
He was in the movie Fried Green Tomatoes and the movie Prince of Tides. So 1991, he was killing it for the female centric movies. Way to
yeah.
go!
I'll tell you right now. Fried Green Tomatoes, solid fucking movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Oh yeah.
And lastly, he was in the movie Days of Thunder, which I remember liking as a kid. I'm pretty sure it's terrible if I were to watch it now.
Hey, Rubbin's racing.
Rubbin is racing. All right, moving on. Nigel Bennett.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I saw that movie not that long ago.
Yeah.
Again, I still like it.
Nice. That was a great Nintendo game too.
Days of
They
Thunder.
made a Days of Thunder Nintendo game, a racing game, and it was awesome.
I was not aware of that.
It was like the first game where we had to actually refuel the car and change the tires and shit.
Oh shit.
Let's see, who are we talking about? Nigel Bennett. He played Mikhailov. He's one of the Russians.
Yeah.
He was in the show Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix, which was not great. Shit canned after one season. It was based on a Mark Millar comic, which I'm sure was much better than the resulting TV show.
I would have to assume because Mark Millar comics are awesome.
Usually really good.
I've yet to read one and be like, that
was a waste of my time.
Yeah.
A couple episodes of The Strain, the Guillermo Del Toro vampire TV show. He was on an episode of Orphan Black, which was a really good, which is a really good one season TV show. Let's say that.
All right.
Let's see what else. I am filling time while I am searching, and I'm not doing a good job of it.
No.
No. Scream
That's
Team,
okay.
Cypher, Lex. I think it was on. I remember that show. It was on like Sci-Fi, like one of their first original shows.
Lex was a weird, fucking weird
Yeah,
show.
he was on 24 episodes of that show.
Holy shit.
Relic Hunter, another syndicated TV show from the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. That was the Tia Carrera show?
Yeah, I believe
Basically
so.
Tomb Raider? Yeah. We've talked about it some point in the show.
He was on the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids TV show. He's in a couple episodes
that
of
was wretched.
the La Femme Nikita TV show.
Sweet.
Murder at 1600. Kung Fu, the legend continues again. Forever Night again.
Fuck yeah.
He was in Darkman 3. Die, Darkman, Die.
Ugh.
And Legends of the Fall. Oh, this is why I saved him. He was the voice of Mastermind in the X-Men animated TV series from the 90s. Yeah.
Really?
He was also in an episode of the RoboCop TV series from the 90s. Another horrible syndicated.
That X-Men cartoon was so
Yeah.
good for so long.
Yeah. I almost started watching that again. It's on Disney Plus right now. I'm going to have to start.
I had a you may have had this too, but in the 90s
The Pizza Hut video cassette.
gave out VHS. Yeah, there were two of them.
Yep.
It was a black sleeve. One had silver as the picture, and one was like a metallic red.
Yep.
I had the
I
red
think
one.
one was like the first two episodes, and I forget what like the other one was. Probably episodes 3 and 4.
Probably. But it had like some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had those. My mom was a manager of Pizza Hut, and she got them for me
Oh, nice.
at that time. Yeah.
Also on Friday the 13th, the series. Another credit to that one. The 80s Twilight
That's a
Zone.
bummer.
And Alfred Hitchcock Presents. All right.
Cool. Man, those shows are so good.
And that's really about it for the known stuff. We are steadily getting up to the end of this.
Has anybody been in Murder, She Wrote?
We'll get there in due time. Martin Roach.
So impatient.
He was Brewster Fuller. That was Octavia Spencer's husband. Who, let me just say, fuck that guy for ratting out Eliza.
Yeah. He's a real piece
Yeah.
of shit. Bitch ass.
Let's see. He was on the Lock and Key show on Netflix. We mentioned this before. Good, decent book. I liked the first one, and I just never read the rest of it. Same with the series. I watched the first episode, didn't watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I think I got 3 or 4 episodes in before I decided it wasn't for me.
Martin Roach, he is on the Reacher TV series, the current one that was just out. Again, I recommend that one. American Gods, I mentioned, which was a little I don't know. I watched the first season. Did I watch the second one? It's just, I don't know, a little bit too out there.
I don't know. I read the book, and that was enough for me. I enjoyed the book. I don't need to go through that story again.
Yeah, I'm sure the book is way better, as typically is the case.
Yeah.
He was in the Killjoys TV series, which I believe was based on a Gerard. There's a whole tie-in with MCR. I think Gerard Way is the one who created that.
Yeah.
He was on the Titans TV series, which is pretty not good. I'm still watching it though.
It's just so goddamn edgy.
Yeah.
I don't need
for
it.
no reason at all. Edgy for the sake of being edgy. This
Fuck
last
Batman.
season was not
all
great.
right. Cool, I guess. Whatever. I don't know.
Again, The Strain. A lot of people were on The Strain.
Yeah. Well, Guillermo likes to work with a set of people.
Yeah. He was Mother Russia in Kick-Ass 2.
Jesus.
Mother Russia cop. Wasn't Mother Russia the big, like butch chick? I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe he worked for her.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I saw Kick-Ass 2.
It was all right. He was on Falling Skies, which seems to show up a lot here lately.
Yeah, it does.
Another Doug Jones plays an alien or creature show.
I'd like to see Doug Jones play a human.
Yeah,
I think he's done it a few times, but
yeah, I just watched John Dies at the End recently. He plays he plays a humanoid in that. We'll say
not quite there, but
yeah, I mean he's not in makeup. Let's say
yeah.
Good God, this dude's fucking IMDb goes on and on and on. Like, I've been scrolling as we're talking, and I'm still only in the year 2000.
Good Lord.
He was the voice of Falcon, a.k.a. Sam Wilson. Looks like in an Avengers cartoon. I don't remember a 90s Avengers series. And that would have been something that I would have been on top of.
90s Avengers series?
Yeah, I remember the Fantastic Four, like the Ghost Rider ones. From not Ghost Rider, the Hulk and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for him. That's all the really big stuff. I promise you, we are almost through. This might be the last one, actually, I think. I have another one, but fuck them. Because if this is the one I think it is. John Capellos. He played Mr. Unpronounceable Last Name. Mr. Arzumarnar. Not even going to try.
Sure,
I'm pretty sure he was the theater owner.
Yeah.
He's another dude who's been on a lot of stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Most recently, the most notable thing, he played Jack Ruby in season 2 of The Umbrella Academy, where they go back in time to Dallas, 1963. Okay. Which that's the third reference to Dallas, 1963 on this episode. That's
sure
very
is
weird. Yeah. Aside from that, he was in NCIS. He is an episode of Seinfeld where he plays this accountant. He's their accountant. They suspect him of being a cokehead because he's always sniffing and he's going off to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It turns out that he's just allergic to the sweater that Jerry's wearing. That's why he's sniffing and rubbing his nose.
That's a very Seinfeld turn.
Yeah. Also on Justified for 9 episodes.
Oh shit.
He was in the movie. Oh, no, that's not the movie True Romance. Nope, we're gonna go right over that. He was on the show Criminal Minds. He was on an episode of Castle, Law and Order L.A., The Mentalist. Did a stint on Days of Our Lives.
Woof.
Young and there were a lot of soap opera. A lot of soap opera stuff. Also did an episode of Chuck. I just recently rewatched that series and it was really entertaining. Really good action show.
I don't remember the premise of that.
It was this kind of geeky dude. He works at a Best Buy type of place. He's a computer nerd.
Yeah.
He was not really a pro. He was basically a genius, computer, kind of whiz.
Yeah.
Went to Stanford and ended up getting framed for cheating, getting kicked out, and the guy who framed him ended up becoming a spy, and in the first episode sends him basically this program that implants the entire CIA database in his brain. So he just has all these knowledge of CIA files and shit. Really
That's
fucking good show.
Absurd.
Yeah, it's a really good show. It's it's nothing deep, but it's entertaining. A lot of great action sequences, a lot of stunt work. It's pretty funny too. I really enjoyed it at the time, and I enjoyed it when I rewatched it recently.
How many seasons?
I want to say there's 5 seasons. Yeah.
5. That's not bad.
Yeah. He was on Desperate Housewives for a while. Queer as Folk.
Mm-hmm.
We're going through CSI again. A lot of people show up on CSI. X-Files again.
Yeah.
A lot of people show up there. He was in an episode of Angel. I don't remember that. Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, those like CSIs and all the primetime cop shows and shit. Like, they have such a revolving cast that it's almost impossible for an actor not to wind up on them at some point.
Yeah, yeah. He did a voice in the Star Wars Return of the Jedi original radio drama. That was in 1996. I didn't really... That's got to have been from before that. Because I listened to the original Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Like right when the pandemic first started. And it was like all of the original voice actors. And like it sounded like it was done at the time. So that just might have been like re-released in 96 or something.
Probably.
Yeah. He was in the movie The Craft.
Well, was 96 around the time that they did the remasters?
Yes. Yeah, it was when the special edition came out. It was 97. I'm sorry. I was a senior. I remember I skipped school to go see it. It was the only one who wasn't a pussy and actually went through with the plan to skip school and go watch Star Wars.
They might have re-released them as like a lead up to that.
Yeah. He's in the movie The Shadow, which not horrible. I enjoy that. Well, I haven't seen it in a very long time. But I can finally fucking say this. The reason why we are here. In 1991, he played Lieutenant Howard Tartarus on Murder, She Wrote.
Fuck yeah.
I truly enjoy that we have bookended Del Toro month with Monster, She Wrote. 'Cause we did not have it in the middle, only in the first and last movies.
Yeah. Feels good. It always feels good to do that.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so petty.
It's just still fascinated by the amount of people that were on Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
I had one more person here, but I think I'm going to skip him because I honestly don't even remember why the fuck I saved. Oh, I know why I saved him. He's in the new Kids in the Hall TV series.
Oh, perfect.
He was one of the Russian guys. It really doesn't matter which one, but he's in the new Kids in the Hall 2022 version.
Perfect. I'll see him later.
Whew, that was a march through that segment. I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, fuck, there's another one I had here.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anything. Yeah, no.
Unless he was also in Murder, She Wrote. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, she wasn't. That's why.
Or her. Sorry.
Also in Kung Fu Legend Continues, though, for some reason. That's like the third reference to that.
That show didn't even go on that long.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Friday the 13th series was like 1 year, and that has come up 3 times tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Jesus Christ.
This is where we would normally do the crap shoot, but we have done so much crap shooting.
There's been crap shooting through this entire episode. Right here, I'm going to put the sound clip. And then we're going to talk about probably nothing.
Yeah. Talking about how we've been talking for 2.5 hours already.
Yeah.
I personally am I am sad to see Del Toro month wrap up.
I also am.
Yeah, I mean, we had some great movies these past couple of weeks.
We have at least another month's worth for next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we talked about this. Like, I think on the Pan's Labyrinth episode. Like, we definitely have to do it again next year.
Yeah. We just have to remember to do it next year.
And therein lies the challenge. I barely remember 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I cannot recommend this movie enough. If you are interested in artistic statements in movie form, if you are just into monster movies, like, there's not really going to be that much here for you. It's more of a...
Yeah, this is more of like a cinema buff movie,
Yeah.
I would say, than, you know, like a horror movie buff movie.
Yeah. There's a reason that this one...
But that's not to say you can't be
awards
both.
that it won. That's true. That's true. It's at least worth your time to try. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But nothing wrong with throwing it on and checking it out. Just don't do it while there's, like, kids around.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't get to see the fish dick, but there is some...
There's more than one masturbation scene.
Yeah.
You see her boobs and bush at least 3 times.
And her ass. Her
And her
quite
ass.
shapely ass, I will say.
Yeah, it ain't bad. Ain't bad. Didn't expect that on the twig of a woman that she is, but
Yeah.
not bad.
Now that we've gone creepy for this episode.
Yep, sure have.
Yeah.
We respect women, I promise. We also just like looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking bummer that Del Toro month is over.
Yeah.
So
But we're getting back into our normal business, which is always pretty enjoyable still.
Yeah.
Well,
even the garbage is
yeah.
enjoyable too.
It's for the most
make
part
fun of.
enjoyable.
It's fun.
I don't know what else is there to say, man. Like,
Not really anything.
yeah, I mean, as far as like just monster movies go, I think like it really is the best in the game at this point.
Guillermo?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, okay, so it kind of depends on what you're looking at.
Yeah, if you're looking for like a schlocky like horror movie, then yeah, definitely not the way
Yeah,
to
that's
go.
that's
but,
not him. Like, yeah, if you want something a little more thought provoking and aesthetically beautiful, Guillermo's your man. But yeah, like Frankenhooker, this is not. So, like, that's a completely different animal. He doesn't do that.
He doesn't do Deathbed.
No. Thank God for that. All right, I think it's time to get the fuck out of here. It is.
It's 12:15, and I still have to throw out the fucking garbage.
All right, so we'll do the socials and we'll get the fuck out of here. As always, our website is www.bigdumbmonsterspodcast.com or www.bigdumbmonsters.com. Shoot us an email. Like, I'm okay with doing another theme month if you guys can think of something really cool, or
Yeah, hell yeah.
just single episodes or beers that you think we could be interested in. Email us bigdumbmonsters@gmail.com. You want to do the Twitter thing? We are at dumb_monsters. We're on Facebook, Big Dumb Monsters Pod, and we are on Slasher, Big Dumb Monsters Podcast.
We are also on Instagram at big_dumb_monsters. You can also check the podcast out on YouTube at the Big Dumb Monsters channel. And
Listen to it anywhere. It's
Yes.
pretty much everywhere, and all of those everywheres, please rate and review. Helps show out like a lot.
Yeah.
So
Leave a comment if you can. That'd be
Yeah,
nice. We appreciate hearing from you.
yeah, the more anybody does that, the better it makes the show look, and it makes it available to more people. I think we are going to be done now. If you have anything else to add.
I do not believe I do. But again, it is this is the close of Del Toro month, but let's not be sad because before we know it, it'll be May again, and we'll be back here.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. So, as always, we will leave you with these words of wisdom. Don't let ghoulies eat your ass.
That's correct. You're not going to get advice like that on just any podcast, okay?
No, you're not going to
yeah.
find that on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, no. He's giving you bad advice, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take horse medicine. So, whatever. Bye-bye.